Getting them little. Like that. And he went in the house. So I'm in my room and I got this light right here. So hopefully it's not too light. And if I'm not pronouncing my words fully, it's because I got this rubber band on, because I need to shift my teeth to the middle. So yeah, and I already brushed my teeth, did my dental hygiene, and took a bath and all of that. So I'm not taking it back off, because it's part of my night routine. But yes, step into the office. Classes is yours, baby. So we're finna talk about first heartbreak. The first heartbreak, yes, we're gonna talk about it. Let's get into it. Really, the first heartbreak, I don't know. I'm consider the first heartbreak the one I was really like intimate with, you know, like that. Nah, that he wasn't my first. I would say he's my first. I'm gonna call him Johnny B. Johnny B was my first real boyfriend, but Tony S was my first relationship. Put it like that. Tony S, I met him in like middle school, y'all, and he was sweet. We was just two young people just talking. Period. I used to go to his little football games and all that, and really he was the first boy to ever buy me flowers. Hold on, it wasn't a flower. It was a whole plant with the fertilizer, y'all. But that's the only plant of flower I have ever gotten in my life. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just going my first, and I don't even remember how me and Tony, whatever I call him, even broke up. So that really doesn't count, because I wouldn't say it was really a heartbreak, because I really don't remember. But anyways, let me stop playing to my first real boyfriend. My first breakup, the one who, you know, all of that good stuff. So the first breakup, so I think we had broke up 2 times before that, but I don't really remember those breakups. I really kind of just remember the last breakup when we separated and just never got back together. So anyways, we was kicking it together, you know, staying together, whatever the case may be. And earlier that day, we had we was getting into it. No, it wasn't getting into it. Sorry, I can't even lick my lips all the way because it's going straight across. I need to find my car mix. But so earlier that day, like, he used to be late to work all the time, y'all. And he used to be late to work all the time, and his car had broke down. Oh, originally my car broke down, and I got a new car, and then his car had broke down. But he was like a mechanic, so he can like fix it and stuff. Like, he knew how to fix it and stuff. But I think it wasn't no fixing it. I don't know, it was no, it was just broke down, and he just didn't fix it yet at the time. So I had to take him to work before I went to work. And I was like, well, or we'll drop each other off, or he'll drop me off, whatever case may be. So I was like, you need to come on, you need to come in on like being late. Come on, I like being late. Like, come on, I don't like being late. So he was taking too long, y'all, and I like to be late. By this time, I was working at a call center, y'all. Yeah, I was working at a call center, and I had to go there with my stuff in the locker, go and check in and get on the computer and sign in. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be late. If I'm only not, I'm gonna be late. So I had left, y'all, and when I got to work, I texted him and I was like, I think we was having problems though prior to this, whatever. But I got to work, I texted him and I was like, oh, I wasn't trying to be funny or nothing like that. Like, I don't think I left you none, but which I did leave him, but I wasn't doing it out of spite or anything like that. I had to go, either go or be late to work and get some points. And no, I wasn't doing it. I didn't even play that in school like that. Like, AB Honor Roll didn't play like my grades, so y'all already know how I am when it comes to my job. Maybe I done slept down and been in. But so anyways, put it in my locker or whatever. So I don't know, I'm on lunch break. I don't remember my lunch break, but I remember when I got off at 8 because I worked 11 to 8. I got off at 8 and I was on the way home and I was like, you want to go to Walmart with me so we can get some food to cook? And he was like, no. And I think I had went off on him. Because I'm like, dog, this happened way earlier. You still on that. Like, get over that. That's petty. Like, get over it. Whatever. And, because it was pissing me off. Like, dog, that happened way earlier and you still holding on to it. Like, let it go. Like, let it go. And so, he said, well, I'm just go ahead and want to tell you, I left. I was like, you left? And I think I don't know if he hung up or I hung up. But baby, I had put that little forward. And I had food to the apartment. Because I wanted to, what you mean? I was already crying before then. Like, crying before I even put up to the house. Because I'm trying to see what you mean you left. Side note, I don't do the breakups, whatever you want to call them. I don't take them well. So I can pull up, run in the house. All his stuff gone. Okay. So I already knew where he was, and I was calling him, like, come back home. He was like, no. I already knew where he had went, so I drove to where he went. And I was just boo crying, like, he came outside and come get in the car, and I was like, boo crying, like, begging him to come back home. And he was like, no. And I had his shirt, y'all. I was holding on to his shirt so he wouldn't get out the car. And he ripped like that. And he went in the house and I was out there crying. And, you know, I knocked on the door like, can you open the door? Because you need to come on. And they didn't answer the door for me. And that had broke my heart. Like, it did. It went like that. Because they didn't answer the door for me. Like, I'm like, I'm crying. I'm hurting. You know, like.
You don't love me no more. Now it's too late. Oh my God, you don't love me no more. Get me out of here.
And you don't answer the door for me. So that really kind of like hurt my heart. So I drove home. And like for that whole week, y'all, the whole week, I cried. The only time I was not crying was when I was asleep. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to be around nobody. I don't want to do nothing. The whole I didn't cry is when I sleep. So, you know, after about a week, I was like, what you gonna do? Because at this time, y'all, I was like, what you gonna do? Because we need to break the lease. And he's like, I ain't worried about breaking no lease. You can put it on the credit. Because I'm trying to get my car fixed. And I think I had went over here, you know, told you I hate you and all this and all that and all that. And I ended up using my insurance money and broke the lease. And then my sister had got a place with the cash and be. But he was a respectful boyfriend. We did have issues and problems, like, even when he told me about the car, like, and he ain't said no nasty, like, no rewind. He was just like, well, I'm trying to get my car fixed like that, and, you know what I'm saying? He was a nice boy. So, that's how that went. And really, I just kind of just feel like, we had other issues and problems, but it wasn't, like, a problem as far as, like, having to worry about girls. It wasn't never nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of think, at the time, we were very young and naive and we were immature. But that whole week, you know, when I was just feeling like so down and stuff like that, it was just like, it was the worst pain I have ever felt. Like, it's crazy how a feeling can hurt so bad like that. Like, it's crazy. It's just crazy how a breakup, a feeling, you know, an emotional feeling can just hurt so bad like that. Like, I don't understand it. And it's like, oh, you be trying to tell yourself, because I try to go to work and everything, like, no, I would go to work, but I would not want to be at work. None of that. And it was like, It was like I kept trying to tell myself, like, girl, stop crying, stop crying. And it's like, it wasn't even funny. It was just the fact that I wanted to stop crying, but I couldn't. I could not stop the tears from coming. I could not. And that's basically how that breakup went. Now it's just like, yeah, that's just how that went. And as far as like family and relationships, I kind of feel like family and relationships are not now, because my first breakup was, because I met him when I was 16. We broke up when I was like almost 19. So we was together for like 2.5 years and stuff like that. So that breakup was like basically 4 years ago. And since those 4 years, I have been in a relationship. I have been in a relationship ever since. But ever since those 4 years, I felt like I have learned a couple of things over the years. Over those 4 years, I have learned to, one, when you and your dude going through it, you can't always run to your family. You can't. Because at the end of the day, when y'all are back cool, they are not. And it just brings up, like, you know, a kind of weird atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really come around without people feel some type of way. Like, I learned that when you have problems, you better keep to yourself, because everybody's not mature enough like that. Even when it comes to like friends, though, I kind of feel like your friend, this is just my opinion, everybody got different opinions. Everybody, you know, everybody is different. Everybody talks to their friend different. I don't have a best friend. I only got my sisters and my mama. I don't have a best friend. I had one, but that's for a different story, for a different time later. But I kind of feel like a best friend is not a real best friend if she don't help you through a breakup. And what I mean by that is, you don't need nobody bashing you. Like, say eventually you and that dude gonna end up breaking up, but the time y'all do break up and get back together, the time that y'all separate those, that little 1 day or two, because it usually be a day, not even a day, you know, they be like, I don't need nobody like judging me, telling me, girl, you dumb, you should have been broke up with him, you know, bash me. I don't like that. Like, don't bash me. When I ain't on good terms with him, you ain't on good terms with him. When I'm on good terms with him, you on good terms with him. And I say that because people never know what you're going through. How you deal with something might be different from how I deal with something. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes some people in a relationship, they have to keep, you know, they have to keep going back until they physically and mentally don't like that person, until it's easier to return, because they may not handle a breakup like Tina. They might not handle a breakup like Juju. Everybody handle a breakup different. So I never, like, you know, when I talk to family members and stuff, I never judge them. I just sit there and listen, you know, because sometimes all people want to do is listen, want you to sit there and listen so they can vent, so they can feel better. So what if they go back? When they get tired, when they're mentally, physically, their heart, you know, when they get tired and God give them the strength to move on, they will. But until then, all you can do is be a support system. You cannot tell nobody else how to live their life. You cannot tell nobody else how to break up with somebody. You can't tell nobody. Like, I feel like as a friend, that's not your place. That is not your place at the end of the day, because it's just gonna make them feel worse. It's gonna make them feel like if they take him back, you know, when they go through something again, they gotta ball it all up. They can't talk to you. And the worst thing you can do is ball stuff up in the inside. That is the worst thing you can do. And last but not least, God. Baby, some of these situations, especially when dealing with your heart and your feelings, it'll make you put somebody in the body bag. You gotta just, like, really pray yourself out of it at the end of the day. Like, it's not gonna happen in 1 week. It's not gonna happen in 2-3 days. Stuff will start happening without you realizing it. Like, oh, you ain't blowing his phone no more like that. You ain't doing it. No, yeah, stuff like that will start happening. So, last but not least, put God first, baby. And that concludes this video. So, like, comment, subscribe, and last but not least, keep God first.